Alright guys, this is a starter replacement and pulling it out for a Virago 1000, which is the same as the 1100 for the most part. This is my donor motor, so don't mind that it looks like crap. It's got a lot of new parts in it, so I've been stealing them. But pretty much on most of my videos, I just kind of give you the basics of what to do. Now I was kind of hoping that, mind you, it's like I know this motor, but I don't know this motor. I was hoping that the Bendix gear was actually attached to the starter itself. So what I originally started trying to do was by pulling out the two 10mm bolts on the back and then disconnecting the little spring assembly, that I'd hopefully be able to knock this entire thing out and not have to dick with removing the solenoid and all that stuff. But the solenoid's two screws that go into right there, the cover on that side. You got to pull those out. You're going to need a real long 1/4-inch socket so you can get to the other side of the motor to get that top one, because if you strip it, it's not fun to get that one out. But long story short, pretty much what you have to do is remove all the bolts on your primary cover, get them all out, and there's like a couple little hidden ones. Let's see here. You don't want to forget. Like there's one in there, one in there, and then the rest of them are pretty simple. But pretty much just remove everything, including the two 10mm bolts here. And there's a Torx bit screw that goes on pretty much on the end of that. Goes like that. When you disassemble this screw and it's still hanging out in here, you can actually just pull the whole assembly and it pops out the side and then it's out of your way. You have to undo the Allen key bolt on the bottom so you can remove your little throw arm assembly. And all this thing is a like hook function that hooks on to the end of your solenoid. So yay. So when you have all that said and done, so everything's off, now be careful too, because your little throw out bearing is going to, when you remove the cover, she's probably going to fall down. So make sure you don't lose anything. It's not much to it. 1 and 2 pieces and done deal. When you get that out, you come over here and there's a very, very small C-clip that I've already removed. A little tiny C-clip. And then now, if all works right, I haven't tried it yet. Let's see. I should be able to just tappy tappy. And look at that. Out she comes. Now I'm not sure if it's my solenoid. I broke this hand the other day. I probably shouldn't be fucking doing this. But who cares? Alright. So now, I know that this solenoid's new, but on my other motor, I wasn't sure if I fried this yet, and I haven't bench tested it, and it's at my house, and right now I'm at my shop. So I figured I'll take the whole friggin' thing, and then when I get home I'll deal with it. But yeah, that's pretty much how she goes. Let's get that little guy out. Ta-da! It's like, now is a good time too. It's like you can kind of check your gears. I can see that my Bendix there. Right, the teeth aren't looking so nice on this guy. And this is a giant magnet right there. You can see there's chunks of metal all over it, so it's been getting chewed up pretty good. I mean, it is a starter or a parts motor, so I don't really care too much. But removing this cover is what you have to do too to get to your little magneto guy. He's on the bottom end there, all glued in. And when you go to if you're going to redo this, if you just want to clean it and use the right stuff, which is a silicone-based gasket that you don't have to wait for, you'll be okay. You can see how she works. That looks just dirty, mangled. Look at all the chunks of metal and crap on it. But oh well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Shifter paw down in the bottom for shifting. You got your oil pump down there, along with the chain that runs it. Should have some timing marks on here somewhere. Wow, this thing is really dirty on the inside. I'm glad I'm just using it for parts and whatnot. But yeah, pretty much if you're trying to do it, there's no way around it unless you're trying to replace just the solenoid. If you're trying to replace just the solenoid, you can pretty much get rid of the little arm assembly, undo the 2 screws from the back, and then once you have this all out and it's all by itself, you can just tap it with a hammer. Tap, tap, tap the screws, tap this with a mallet, and it'll pop right out of the right out of its little hole in the casing there. It'll just come right out once you get these 2 off. But like I said, really long 1/4 inch drive, because yeah, these screws go in like this and they sit like right here. You got just enough clearance to get underneath there and get it at an angle, and try not stripping it. But yeah, you pretty much have no other option when removing the starter, because without that little C-clip off, it will not go anywhere. All right, you're welcome.